Good morning. In this lecture, we'll see the particle in one-dimensional box. That is the application of a Schrödinger equation. Say for example, if you are considering any one electron within a one-dimensional box. One-dimensional box means we have two walls on either side of it. Say for example, if it is moving in an x-axis, at x is equal to 0, we have one wall, and at about the distance x is equal to L, we have another wall. So the electron is moving back and forth in between the two walls at x is equal to 0 and x is equal to L. So if the electron is having potential energy, that potential energy is of negligible, because if it has more potential energy means it has to surmount over the walls and it comes out. But the electron is moving back and forth inside the wall. That means it has a negligible potential energy, that is insufficient to penetrate over the walls. So let us assume that potential of the electron inside the potential well is 0. But on the walls and outside the walls, the potential is assumed to be maximum. That means if it is negligible, it has more potential, then only it cannot surmount over the walls. So potential on the walls and outside the walls, the potential is assumed to be infinity. So let us take the potential well of 0 to L, and the potential energy of an electron inside the walls is 0, and on the walls and outside the walls potential is of infinity. Then we'll write the potential energy. That case I'll write it here. That is a potential is 0, that is inside the well, that is x is in between 0 and L. So x is greater than 0 and less than L means potential is 0, and on the walls and outside the walls the potential is of infinity. That is when potential is infinity when x is greater than, less than or equal to 0 or greater than or equal to L. So this we can consider as a boundary condition when you are considering a one-dimensional potential box. And particle exists outside, particle exists only inside the box. So the wave function has some value inside the box, and on the walls and outside the box electron will not be existing. So the wave function is 0. So to find the wave function of a particle inside the potential well of length L, let us consider one-dimensional Schrödinger equation. One-dimensional means instead of del square, we will put dou square psi by dou x square. That is dou square psi by dou x square plus 2m by h cross square into E minus V into psi is equal to 0. That is one-dimensional Schrödinger's time-independent wave equation. So inside the box, potential is 0. That is the particle is free to move inside, which it will not be at rest. So the potential energy is 0. Then the particle is considered as a free particle. So if we substitute V equal to 0 in that expression, you will get this dou square psi by dou x square plus 2m by h cross square into E minus E into psi. V is 0, so E into psi is equal to 0. All the terms are of constant. Instead of repeating it again and again, we will consider this as constant, say k square. So dou square psi by dou x square plus k square into psi is equal to 0. So we arrive the second order differential equation. So if it is of second order differential equation, we should consider the solution for it. Solution means finding the value of psi. If you are considering the solution, it consists of two arbitrary constants. That means psi is equal to a sin kx plus b cos kx. That is second order differential means we have a solution with two arbitrary constants, say a and b. How to arrive that arbitrary constant? That arbitrary constant can be calculated by applying a boundary condition. What are the boundaries considered here? X is equal to 0 and x is equal to L. First we substitute the value of x is equal to 0 here. If x is equal to 0 means from the figure itself we know that V of x potential is infinity, and also no existence of the electron on the wall, so psi of x is equal to 0. Then we know the solutions. Already we have a solution for second order differential equation, that is psi of x is equal to a sin kx plus b cos kx, and by substituting these conditions here, psi of x equal to 0 and x is equal to 0 and 0, if you are substituting it, 0 equal to a sin of k into 0 is 0, so sin 0 plus b cos 0, k into x 0, so this is of 0, and 0 equal to sin 0 is 0, so total term will be 0, and cos 0 is 1, so b exists, so 0 equal to b, that means the value of b is equal to 0. Then again we arrive the value of b. Then we substitute the value of x is another boundary condition, say x is equal to L. If you substitute x is equal to L means at x is equal to L also b equal to infinity, again psi is equal to 0. If you substitute these condition in this expression, psi is equal to 0, so left hand side is 0, a sin k, instead of x we are substituting L plus b cos kl. But already we know that b is equal to 0. So this term will be 0. So 0 is equal to a sin kl. Already we know that b is equal to 0. Here the whole term will be 0 when any one of the terms is 0. If b is equal to 0, we cannot equate a to 0. If a is 0, b is also 0, means this whole equation will become meaningless. So we cannot equate the value of a to 0. So if a is not 0 means automatically the sin kl we may equate it to 0. Then only this whole term will become 0. So sin kl equal to 0. When the value of sin will become 0, sin of when it is of multiples of pi, that is of 180, 0, 180, 360. When it is of multiples of pi, then the term, sign of that term will become 0. So in general we may write it as sin of n pi is equal to 0. If sin of, then when you are comparing these two, kl is equal to n pi. If kl is equal to n pi, we may get an expression for k. Then if you know b equal to 0 and k is equal to this, if you substitute these two expression in the solution, we'll get psi of x equal to a sin n pi x divided n pi x. That is, instead of k we are substituting this n pi into x divided by L plus b is equal to 0, so the whole second term will be 0. So this is the wave function for a electron when it is considered in a one-dimensional box. So this is called as eigenfunction for an electron in a one-dimensional box. Now let us derive an expression for the energy value from equation 2. In the beginning itself we consider this. This is of k square is equal to 2me by h cross square. And from this equation we know that n pi by n, k is equal to n pi by n. And from k we find k square. This is of n square pi square divided by L square. Here we know h cross equal to h by 2 pi. Instead of h cross, if you substitute h, and we have an expression. So this is k square, this is also k square. So we may equate these two. If you equate these two, pi square and pi square get cancelled, and rearranging it to get the value of e. Then e for different values of n, we may write it as en. En is equal to, that is n square, this h square will bring it here, so n square h square divided by 8m square into L square. So this is a expression for En. That is, energy correspond to the particle when you are considering in a one-dimensional box. Then from this equation we have an energy value for an electron, and this is a wave function for an electron when you are considering in a one-dimensional box. This energy value is known as eigenvalue, and this wave function is known as eigenfunction. And let us see what are all the energy levels of an electron when you are considering a one-dimensional box. Say energy value is n square h square divided by 8ml square, you know. Then n is a principal quantum number. If n is equal to 1, energy level is first energy level, and n is equal to 2, second, and n is equal to 3, third energy level. When you substitute n is equal to 1, 2 and 3 in this expression, we'll get E1 is equal to h square by 8 ml square. If you substitute n is equal to 2, this is n square, though, so 4. So when you are comparing this, we'll write it as 4 times of this equation. That is of 4 times of E1 we write. For n is equal to 3, this is of 9 into this much. So 9 times of E1. When you are considering the energy levels from 1, 2, 3, etc. and energy value which varies as E1, 4 times of E1, 9 times. This is of not continuous. This is only a discrete values of energy. That is a great success of the quantum mechanics. So the energy values are not continuous. So here we got the discrete value of energy. So in general, we write it as En is equal to, this is of n square times of E1 we may write it as. And pictorially, let us see how the wave function and energy values are represented. Say this is x is equal to 0 and x is equal to L. This is a potential well and energy values taken here, and this is the length of the box. And for n is equal to 1, for the first energy level, this is the energy value correspond to this, and wave function resembles like this. And for n is equal to 2, this is the energy value and the wave function can be drawn like this. And for n is equal to 3, E3 is the energy value and the wave function has the picture like this. And for n is equal to 4, E4 is the energy value here and the wave function resemble like. When you are going for higher order, just the wave function and energy value goes on like this. This is the energy diagram for each that is the energy value and the wave function for different energy levels. So we discussed here about in detail about the Schrödinger's time independent, time dependent wave equation and the physical significance of wave function, which we used in almost all the derivation of the quantum mechanics, and the application, it is a particle in a box. And in that particle in a box, we consider an electron, and for which we arrived the wave function as well as the energy values, and different energy levels has different wave function that also pictorially represented. So this is the end of the derivation part, and the application of the quantum mechanics is for the case of electron microscope. And already the scanning electron microscope and transmission electron microscope is given for the assignment, and that too it is collected in the month of March itself. So generally the electron microscope means this is a general case of electron microscope. So in the case of electron microscope, instead of light beam, we are using the electron beam. In ordinary microscope, we are using light beam, but here in the electron microscope, we are using the electron beam. And the very small, fine, like bacteria, virus, like a small object beam can be magnified very large. And two types generally it has. One is scanning electron microscope and other is of transmission electron microscope. Sources of electron gun, and the magnifying lenses are magnifying and distorting lenses are of magnetic and electric lenses are used for the focusing of the electronic beam. And it works in vacuum only, so living organism cannot be used for this purpose. Minimum of 10,000 times magnification is possible. Its cost is very high and is of larger in size. Okay, with this basic idea, you just go through your assignment, and just if you need any further clarification, just note it down, and we'll meet you in Zoom classroom. Thank you.